Joe being Joe won't really want to talk about personal milestones. He'll want to talk about the game. Bad luck, indulge us. Thank you very much for your time and extremely well played. I mean, come on. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. When you look at the names there on that list, they're all people as a kid growing up. That's who I would try and be in the garden, in the street, on the driveway, at my local club. We'd play mini test matches, me and my brother, anyone else that was knocking around the local club. And you know, one day I'd try and be Ricky Ponting, the next I'd try and be Kumar Sangakkara or Brian Lara.
Left-handed?
Not left-handed, but same backlift, same, you know, trying to try it all out and pretend that I was, you know, at different parts of the world scoring test match hundreds. And you know, even just to be mentioned in the same sentence as these guys is a bit of a pinch yourself moment. So it is pretty cool, yeah.
Did you perfect the Ponting?
No, well, clearly not. You see me flap at a few, but no. Yeah, it was like that 2005 series was huge for my era of player. So watching that 100 you got here and the rest of that all unfold, that was a massive inspiration for me. So yeah, to even just be mentioned in the same sentence is pretty cool.
Did you know the numbers coming into the series?
I can't avoid it. They're everywhere, aren't they? Yeah, I think you know, but you try and put it out of your mind. I think it's easy to get caught up in this sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, you're playing it against India in one of the biggest series there is. It's one of the most crucial days within the whole series. You've got a real opportunity, the sun's out, to really try and get ahead and put yourself in a position where you can win a test match. So when it comes to that, has to take a backward step. It's not about you. It's about, you know, winning a game and getting your team in a position where you can follow through on that. So you're not doing your job properly if you're concentrating on yourself.
Well, the one thing I want to know, Joe, is in your first 97 tests, you made 1700s. In your last 60 tests, you made 2100s. What's changed there? Technique? Is it mental stuff? What's been the biggest change? I
actually went away throughout COVID and I actually spoke to Nas quite a bit. I said, can I get some footage?
That can't be it.
And the analyst, can I get some footage off Sky and just look at modes of dismissal and if there were any trends and seeing the different ways I was getting out at different points in my innings, first 20 balls, first 30 runs, 50 to 100, if there were anything that I was doing. And I think one thing that I've done within that period is actually try and look at the game slightly differently. For that start of my career, a lot of it was based on my technique, where my hands are, where my head is, am I lined up, is my trigger right? Whereas in this second phase of things, it's been more about managing risk and thinking, how can I eliminate as many modes of dismissal as possible with the highest output? And sometimes the conditions are so extreme that the risk obviously has to go up, but ultimately it's how can I take Bold and LB out of the game, or how can I take Court in whatever seems to be the biggest threat, can I eliminate it as much as possible, but still give myself scoring opportunities. And sometimes that might be by putting a bit more pressure back on bowlers, or you might have to score more aggressively against a spin on seaming conditions and absorb against the seamers. Whatever it is, can I marry up my skill to what's right out there in front of me, whether it's the surface, the overheads, the opposition, our guys using the crease. And it's a lot of information to put in, and until you know your own game really well and what your big strengths are, where your vulnerabilities are, it's very difficult to see the game like that. So it does come through experience, it comes from trial and error, it comes from getting things wrong. But I think you've got to see the game for what it is. It's very easy to get caught up, get too emotional, get too hard on yourself or feel too sorry for yourself. You've got to see it for what it is, be very honest about it, and then just try and put that into practice.
Do you have to be a real batting nuffy to be on this list? Because you both love the game and you both love batting. Sangakkara was the same, Dravid was the same.
Oh, I think you do, yeah. You have to like it, and you listen to the way that he's explaining things there. I mean, that's really in-depth stuff, just to find a way to get a little bit better every game, every series, every year. And when you get to the back end of your career, you've got to find ways to continually change and evolve, because opposition teams will work little areas out quickly. You've got to be ready for what the next series might provide for you.
Back to the game, because I know that's what you prefer talking about. Great position. How do you take full advantage of that?
Yeah, really good position. And actually, that partnership from the opening pair, the speed at which they scored has put us in a much stronger position. It was quite slow scoring yesterday, slow outfield, slow wicket. So the fact that they managed to get things going as quickly as they did has really helped the situation for us. So important to follow through on that today. If we can get north of 230, that would be really strong stuff, and hopefully we see that wicket start to deteriorate a little bit more. We saw it start to happen yesterday.
More low than up, what do you think?
So far. But I think that's generally the trend here at Old Trafford, is it does happen a lot quicker on day 4 and 5. So clearly we've got runs to be had. It can be quite tricky batting last on here, and it's a very talented Indian team that have already throughout this series and throughout this test match shown a lot of fight, great determination. Even Rishabh coming out with a broken foot and playing, they're not going to go away. We're going to have to play some really good stuff, as you'd expect. But clearly in a really good position. It's about really hammering that home this morning and taking that advantage forward.
Well played, congratulations. Have you thanked Ollie for doing your media duties last night?
Yeah, I bought him a coffee. You know what, last night actually, I got in the dressing room, I put my sliders on, and as I've gone to someone had super glued them to the floor. So I've tried to pick my foot up. As I picked my foot up, my hamstring went, so with cramp. So as I'm trying to stretch that out, my quad went. So I was like jerking around. So yeah, I bought him a coffee this morning to say thanks.
I've heard it all now. Congratulations, well played. We've had 3 fabulous days and a big day to look forward to.